Well, Taylor Swift is mad. That's what TMZ tells us about the whole rift between Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and, of course, Ryan Reynolds in the mix there as well. If you're not caught up on this story, the whole thing revolves around recently that there was a meeting between Justin and Blake at her penthouse, and Ryan Reynolds was there. They were going over script changes that they wanted with Justin and kind of trying to strong arm him into those script changes. Then, just because Blake, allegedly invited Taylor Swift over. Taylor Swift didn't know that Justin was going to be there. And so it was just to prove to Justin, the power that she has in Hollywood. And then that's when she sent the email that said, or the text that said, hey, as you can see, I am like Khaleesi and these are my dragons, to intimidate him. So TMZ got word from a source, and we don't know who that source was, that Taylor Swift is not happy. And she is trying to distance herself from this as much as possible.
Yeah, it's about time, and it's kind of obvious. Like, Taylor Swift doesn't want to have her name dropped in a lawsuit involving two very high-profile celebrities, and essentially, a nonstop media circus. So it's not surprising to me that she is dropping hints through TMZ. I'm sure there are degrees of separation so that it's not Taylor calling up Harvey.
Right.
But people that she said, yeah, you can say something if you, I'd like you to say something rather, because nobody wants to be brought up in that context. It makes Taylor Swift look like, to use a phrase, D-bag. And I don't think she wants to look like that. She's got enough of a reputational issue when it comes to stuff like that. At least I think, that whole concept of like her and her best friends and that sort of cliquey, mean girl stuff. Like, I'm not saying that's true or that it sticks, but it's a conversation. And I imagine if you're Taylor Swift and the people around her, you don't want people
using
giving
your name,
reasons to solidify and
leveraging your friendship to use as a weapon. What is this? What are we
This
hearing?
A-plus listeners team is absolutely behind the latest update sent to the three-letter tabloid. Her people realized early on that the A-minus list actress bestie was in the wrong and has continued to separate herself until it's deemed that the controversy is over. Yeah. This would be one of our
I wonder what today. This is.
Yeah. And I will just say the one thing that was pretty interesting that was brought up to me by a very big Swiftie is the fact that...
Your wife?
No. Actually, Brittany.
Coworker?
Yes, coworker. Okay. She's been on
wife?
Blinded by the Item before. She made the comment that when this movie came out, it was about the same time that Blink Twice came out. Now, Blink Twice and Nobody Wants This, very different themes. One is a psychological thriller starring Channing Tatum, directed by
movie.
Yeah, directed by Zoe Kravitz.
Yes,
it was her directorial debut.
Called P Island.
Yes, exactly. It used to be P Island. Well, when that movie came out and Nobody Wants This came out, they both came out about the same time. Taylor Swift on social media encouraged everyone to go check out Zoe Kravitz's movie Blink Twice. And was basically like, it's a new role for her. It's great. Go. She's a great friend of mine, everything. Not a peep about Nobody Wants This.
It's almost like she maybe saw what was coming.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing how Tree Payne can do that.
What does that mean?
Tree Payne is her PR
person.
Anytime you see Taylor Swift at an award show, you see a redheaded woman that she talks to right before she goes and strikes a pose. That's Tree Payne.
Got it. Yeah, she has an army, a machine, a factory, a corporation, a nation, a cult, a religion. She has a universe around her.
Yeah.
And there are people beyond her that are there to protect her self-interest. And,
it's worked for her so far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I would just say the last thing I'd want to be is somebody on the wrong end of Taylor Swift. Yeah.
I wanted to reference something that you said. When you said nobody wants this, were you really just meaning...
Oh, I apologize.
This ends with us.
This ends with us,
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
I had Nobody Wants This on
times.
the brain
okay.
because of a certain award show that we all might have been losers
I just thought it might be involved somehow, so I was like, I don't know that story.
No, I'm sorry. Not Nobody Wants This.
Okay.
It ends with us. Sorry.
Yeah. Kind of
there was also the implication, at least TMZ's implication was that it wasn't just the Khaleesi dragon thing. Which also just think you have to believe that Blake, when she saw that word in black and white, those texts, just was like,
oh, so cringy.
Because it's so cringy. But it went beyond that, because it was also that she had allegedly, again, this is all speculation, that is, Blake Lively had used Taylor Swift to tell an actress in the film that she was chosen for the role because Taylor wanted her in that role.
Yeah.
So,
Not true. That's kind of like, that came out in that TMZ piece, which I recommend you all watching. I mean, we've told you everything, but, that she's using her name to say, well, Taylor Swift cherry picked you. It's like, quit doing that. That's not...
Can I also just take back the words I said about being on the wrong end of Taylor Swift, because now I think I'm going to be, but I do want to just put out the thought that this, I think, is the consequence sometimes of having the celebrity friendship. I imagine she does have celebrities who are real friends, but having that idea of the celebrity friendship, like my besties, because it pays such big dividends in publicity.
Yes.
I think the consequence of that, so it's a good reminder to all of us mega celebrities, that you, I'm kidding, obviously, that you should probably be really careful about setting up that dynamic, because I am not surprised that people take advantage of that.
Oh, for sure.
And we know with Taylor, there's lots of, quote, besties.
There's so many.
But this is godmother besties.
They are literally godparents.
They're godparents. So, I mean, this is another level of just besties. So it's interesting to see, even if you're at that level of relationship, Taylor's not going to mess with that if it's going the wrong way PR-wise, which is smart.
Definitely.
Let's do some blind items. Speaking of leaks coming out, the leaks that we're recently seeing about a former A-list for a very quick time actor are all fully coming from the actor himself. Do we really think the studio that's so skittish about talent would bring him back? They know more than the public does. So we've got more leaks coming out about a former A-list for a very quick time actor. And all those leaks are coming directly from the actor himself. Do we really think the studio, that's traditionally very skittish when it comes to their talent, would bring him back? They know more than the public does.
Interesting.
Is this a Jonathan Majors thing?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, good answer.
Recent rumors, and of course the studio would be...
Marvel.
There you go.
Disney.
In Disney, yes. Both correct answers there. The leaks are coming out about the fact that there was a recent report that they're looking at maybe exploring bringing Kang the Conqueror, a.k.a. Jonathan Majors' character, back to the MCU. And those leaks were all absolutely from the actor himself and not rooted in reality, because Disney and Marvel has shown in the past that they are absolutely skittish when it comes to talent speaking out about things. We've seen it in the Star Wars universe. We've seen it in the... princess universe of Disney. We've seen it in the Marvel universe. They know that there's not one actor bigger than them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let their reputation be pulled down by one.
And if they did, they would just recast the role.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd be real careful doing that.
But you are going to be seeing that name a lot lately, because the movie that got pulled from Disney, Magazine Dreams, is going to be released in the next couple of, I think, months from a smaller studio that purchased it.
Oh.
That was his last big role that he had in the hopper, ready to go before the violence, domestic violence case against him.
Which, despite
Jonathan
the fact,
Majors, that is.
Yeah, which despite the fact that Disney is so sensitive, other studios are not. And so it does show you that in the long run, Hollywood's mind and memory is pretty short and quick to remember, or quick to forget.
Let's keep rolling through the blinds today. You guys are crushing. Let's see how this one goes. This A-list celeb, who will be seen and heard a lot this weekend, will soon announce his future plans. And if you're one of the few people who enjoy him in his current role, savor it, because it's going to be the final time you get to see it. This A-list celeb, who will be seen and heard a lot this weekend, will soon announce his future plans. And if you're one of the few people who enjoy him in his current role, savor it, because it'll be the final time we see it.
It's not Tom Brady, is it?
You're on fire today, Dawn.
Oh, girl.
Oh, my God. No way. This $375 million contract for 10 years. I mean, I've heard that he isn't great at the job, but...
It's more than that. And let me explain why.
Okay.
Tom Brady, who is going to be seen and heard a lot this weekend, obviously, he is doing the broadcast for the Super Bowl, will be announcing his future plans. And if you're a fan of what he's doing now from an announcing role, savor it because this will be the final time you see it. Tom Brady is indeed on the first year of a 10-year, $375 million contract.
Yes.
That was assigned to and agreed to in March of 2022.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He then sucked at his job for a year, and middle through that time, became a minority owner of the Oakland Raiders. If you don't know the inside baseball on this, because he's a minority owner,
He can't.
he can't say anything during the broadcast.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, literally can't say. He has been so neutered on what he can and can't say during the
my
broadcast
gosh.
that it is going to be, it's just boring to listen to him.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Is that a way out?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Just
absolutely
so that
a
he
way
doesn't
out.
say, I didn't get fired because I sucked. I just can't do this job because of my predicament.
Well,
Okay,
or
that's-
maybe I buy a minority stake in this team so I can't say anything. So then, I mean, you just can see the chess.
You can see it all playing out.
Okay.
And again, we'll see if this actually happens or not. I would be very surprised if this didn't happen, honestly. Because, I mean, when I talk about, like, he is so handcuffed on what he can say. A few weeks ago, he did the game with featuring the Lions. And again, we won't get too deep into this, but the offensive coordinator for the Lions was one of the highest looked at potential head coaches elsewhere. He couldn't say the guy's name.
Okay.
Weird.
Just imagine you're covering the Oscars, and
He's like,
because
that
of
guy over there.
because of contractual reasons, you can't say Beyonce, Lady Gaga, or Shakira.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, watch this performance from that artist who's good. Like,
Okay.
what? He can't talk about potential free agents. He can't have criticism. He can't go watch the practices of these teams
so
getting
that
ready
was a
for the Super
move.
Bowl.
That was totally
It's
a move.
Absolutely a move. And Tom Brady became a minority owner so he could get out of that humongous
Do you know
deal.
when did that happen? When he did?
October of 2024.
Okay, so
Two and a half years after he signed on to be the announcer.
So he was looking.
he's like, uh-oh.
I think
Because why
suck.
would you enter into a relationship like that knowing that you have a 10-year, multi-$100 million contract?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna do this.
either A, you were so clueless on the restrictions you were going to have, or B, you're looking for an excuse. I don't think it's
think he's
A when it
clueless.
comes to Tom Brady.
No.
The guy is pretty good at everything he does.
Yeah, he
except
would know.
announcing.
Yeah. And
Even if
his
he was
agents-
clueless, he has enough people who aren't.
Exactly. So contractually or not, yeah, and I'm sure there's an out in that clause. He's going to be, but we'll have to see if this actually happens or not. I just would not be surprised.
I can't
if-
do this anymore because I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
If I owned part of a team that I had to talk about.
Yeah.
which is just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to something else that's very.
That'd be like me going to work for Blake Lively and then coming on the radio every day to tell you independently what I think
Yes,
about
exactly.
Blake Lively.
Yep, exactly. Let's do another quick blind item here again. I don't think this one's going to be too difficult, but let's see. So much for that gag order. This former talk show host can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a gag order.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Wendy?
Yeah.
Williams?
So much for that. She is just talking like crazy. We actually got some news yesterday because of Wendy. We've got some news today all around Wendy. The most recent time we discussed Wendy was the potential that Diddy might have something to do with the conservatorship or whatever the case may be.
Very
This,
dark.
though, is her actually talking out, including saying things like she actually doesn't have dementia.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So, well, she says she doesn't have frontotemporal dementia, which I actually learned something about thanks to Charlemagne the God. Thank you. Because he explained, and I'm sure we probably have even mentioned this in the past, or maybe we didn't. I just didn't pay attention that it's a comprehensive diagnosis, right? So it's not like you take a test, you have this thing.
Okay.
It like takes several years usually to complete a full diagnosis of this condition.
Okay.
And so their argument is like, how could she be diagnosed with this in the first place since it hasn't even been 3 years since she was put into the guardianship?
Okay.
But look, watch the video, watch the interview. It's clear that Wendy is still dealing with, something. But to think that she's not capable of living a more, what's the word, autonomous life is absurd because she sounds
It's
way
amazing.
different.
Mike, did you watch the documentary by Life?
I did not, no.
Okay. It seems like in that documentary that she will never come back to coherent Wendy Williams. It was a very sad documentary. It was like, she has damaged her brain so much from alcohol that she is going to be in this state forever. So I just, in general, like whatever happens, I am thrilled that she's actually better. Yeah. Like, this is amazing.
Like maybe the combination of the, substance abuse, which she seems still to be not completely honest about. I don't know, because I don't know what her usage history is. But it seems like once she is not, when she's clean and sober and she's not heavily medicated, she sounds very coherent compared to the Wendy we saw in that documentary, which, by the way, remember, there is a lawsuit. However, I will say I think the lawsuit has been temporarily put on hold until this, new doctor evaluation can take place.
And she did also say in that interview, and by the way, she joined the Breakfast Club. This is the same place we heard her have an interview a couple of weeks ago that made headlines because, wow, she seems like she's doing a lot better and is in a very different state than we were led to believe. In that interview, she not only mentioned the things about dementia, she also said, like, she's not opposed to working with Lifetime again.
Yeah.
She said,
it's like, I like them.
Yeah.
And they like me. And I'm like, Wendy, girl trying to get another job.
Hey, I say good for you.
Yeah. And it's not to say that she, like Dawn, you and I were talking about this earlier, and a lot of people, we've talked about this over the years. Do you know how many celebrities have ruined their careers without any frontotemporal dementia?
Thousands.
Without the need for a guardianship?
Yes.
Most of them men?
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, anyone? Right? Yeah. Like, just because she makes bad decisions or decisions you don't think she should make, or just because she talks a certain way and sounds, in a way that you think implies she needs help, doesn't mean she can't fend for herself, or at least at the very least, go see her family when she wants to and be close to the ones she loves.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up, Bradley. The wife of the permanent A-list rapper is smarter than we all think. After these recent events, she is going to push forward the plan of putting her husband in a conservatorship and controlling his assets. The wife of this permanent A-list rapper is smarter than we all think. After the recent events, she is going to push forward the plan of putting her husband in a conservatorship and controlling his assets.
Yeah.
Haley Bieber?
No. Think about it, girl.
Who?
Here, I was going to take my shirt off to try to...
Please don't.
Reenact a scene.
I'm pretty sure the viewers would love it because he works out all the time.
Yeah, go for it, I guess.
No, I'm just saying that would be a hint.
Are you wearing an invisible dress?
Exactly.
Oh, you mean Bianca?
Yes! Listen to the man.
Oh, say it again.
The wife, Bianca Censori of course, Kanye West, is a lot smarter than we all give her credit for. After the most recent events, and I mean like in the last 7 hours recent events, she is going to push forward the plan of putting her husband in a conservatorship and control his assets. Did you guys see what's happened in the last 7 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just say, and I know we're going to talk about this later on the radio, but he went on another rant or whatever we call that, hate fest.
Yeah.
But part of the non-Nazi part of it, and the non-other bunch of words that we're not going to say on this podcast.
Yeah.
Was that of course he controls what Bianca wears. Yeah. Of course she needs to get his approval.
His quote was, "I have dominion over my wife."
Yeah.
That was his quote.
Yeah.
After people have been trying to give the benefit of the doubt to that situation.
Why?
And maybe she's endorsed. Yeah.
It's like she likes it or whatever.
Like, I love how we're all trying to, mental gymnastics our way out of what we're looking at, which is a person in crisis and a woman who needs some support around her because clearly she's got a lot coming at her.
I wonder if they're legally married. Because that was always up in the air.
That's always been the problem.
According to them, they are. Mm-hmm. But whether or not it's legal, we don't know. And certainly we don't know then what that would mean if she did try to establish a conservatorship. If
she has been just quietly sitting back and gathering evidence, she wins. She wins the whole, year.
And again, she is like the architect of the company, and he has a lot of success with that company, even despite himself. She might be playing puppet master here.
Oh my God! Please let that be true.
That would be so awesome.
Also, just add on
of the year.
to my mad respect for the Breakfast Club again, because after I watched the Wendy Williams interview, Charlemagne goes on to talk about how he thinks this is all of Kanye's outburst is a reaction to Kendrick getting all the love in this moment.
For sure.
In advance of his Super Bowl performance, and the fact that Kendrick was able, to do to Drake what he did. Like, just, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And it certainly gives some sort of reasoning.
Someone else is getting attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the drivel that he rolled out early this morning, when he was talking about this stuff, was he says, I hate all rappers. I hate rappers. I hate the way rappers dress. I hate the way rappers act. Just kidding. I love Ty Dolla $ign, but I hate everybody else.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, boy.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, I'm here for that fantasy conspiracy.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
me too.
In terms of, I just, you could see that episode of the miniseries.
God, please let it be true.
It's kind of like that moment where the guy meets Brittany in the bathroom to talk about getting her away from the conservatorship. Remember, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Who was
The
that?
secret meeting.
It was just like a bestie that she met,
Yeah.
and he ends up. Anyway,
Oh, it's been too long.
I need the miniseries.
Alrighty. But yeah, as I was reading those, I was just thinking to myself, so Brittany needed a conservatorship, but this human being doesn't.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mike.
Thank
Crazy
you.
how that works.
I said Johnny Depp or not Johnny Depp. Charlie Sheen, but I feel like Kanye is the better analog.
Perfect example of that right now with everything happening. So there you go. Let's move on and do another blind item. That was a fun one, and let's hope. This permanent A-list actor is desperately trying to woo this recently single former A-list actress. The powers that be wanted it in the past, and the actor feels like she is the one who got away. We've got a permanent A-list actor is desperately trying to woo a recently single former A-list actress. The powers that be wanted it in the past, and the actor feels like she might be the one who got away.
Oh, okay.
Is this a Tom Cruise story?
Oh my God,
You're just slaying today, Dawn.
She's back, kids.
I went into my coffin for 2 weeks and now I've emerged. But who is the woman who's recently single?
Tom Cruise desperately trying to woo this recently single.
Recently single.
Woo.
And she is an actress.
He's trying to woe her.
I'm trying to woo.
Whoa.
She's former A-list actress.
Former A-list actress. And is it someone who is over the age of 30?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is somebody that they were connected to previously.
The powers that be apparently wanted this
Scientology.
in the past. Yes, Scientology had her handpicked as one of the future
Is
Miss.
she a Scientologist?
She is not that I know of. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Okay, so she's an actress, though.
She's a former
Reese
A-list
Witherspoon?
actress,
Former A-list actress.
recently single,
Who got
very
divorced?
recently single. In fact, I don't even think the ink's dry if it's even written up. Yet.
Oh.
I mean, she's definitely still married legally.
Oh,
We
That's
know
how
this.
recent.
It has to be something we know.
Correct.
well, because she's A-list, certainly. But
I mean, look.
I'm trying to think
Former
of
A-list.
women who were they in a movie together?
That's a really good question. I don't believe I recall a movie they were in together. No, I don't think so.
Did we do a victory lap about it?
I'm not sure. What was?
Okay. Did we predict that they were divorcing?
I don't think so. This one
Okay.
kind of came out of nowhere
Okay. Oh,
because they
shoot.
were together for so long.
Oh.
A former A-list actress and a longtime spouse just announced.
Former A-list. Yeah, I feel like this is on the tip of my tongue. All right, give us a hint of, let's see, what kind of movies does she do? Is she mostly a dramatic actress?
She was a BA actress in her day. She did a lot of
Badass.
physical roles.
Oh.
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 Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm.
Nope, lost it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Badass
She's also had
actress.
a lot of success outside of acting.
Singing?
No. Financial success.
Oh, she has Jessica Biel.
No, nope. What you meant to say?
Jessica Alba.
There you go.
Oh,
I dinged you because I knew what you were trying to say, but then you said Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Alba is what you were trying to say and wanted to say, and you were right. According to the blind items, Tom Cruise is desperately trying to get with Jessica Alba. Apparently, the powers that be, aka Scientology, wanted this in the past, and the actor feels like she's the one who got away.
Well, watch this space.
Boy.
Because if there's any truth to it, we'll be talking about it. And frankly, that's the case every Monday through Friday when we air on the radio on MyTalk. But we're also wherever you get podcasts, whenever you want to download those. And we have our very own YouTube channel where you should be liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell to get notifications for
Blinded by the Item.
Bye.
Blinded by the Item.